this class, we will first start with the statistics part. Then after this, after completing this session, we will continue with the accounts, and we will probably will finish the chapter, the ongoing chapter in account. Okay, so let's start with the statistics. So I think in the last session we have started this chapter correlation. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what have I taught you in the last session?
1 second, sir.
Yeah. I think we have covered the meaning. Basically, I think we did the introduction part of this chapter, like the meaning of the correlation, then the different types of correlation, and various method by which correlation can be calculated. Yes.
Yes, sir.
And I think we have done a question based on Spearman's rank correlation method, no?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right, Alexander. So I think there is a change in the syllabus. As per CBSE, there is a call Spearman rank correlation is, I think it is deleted from the syllabus in the final term. So probably they won't be asking you question based on the Spearman rank correlation. And the topic that is in our syllabus is Carl Pearson coefficient of correlation. So we will be skipping Spearman rank correlation. So what you have to do, you just have to confirm with your teacher whether this topic is coming in your examination or not. And if he says that this topic is going to be in your final term, then we will cover it. Otherwise, we will be skipping it. Is
Okay,
that
sir.
okay? So just you need to just confirm whether Spearman's rank correlation is coming in the exam or not. All right. So moving on to the next method, which is Carl Pearson coefficient correlation method. But before proceeding further, I will first I want that we should first revise and recall everything, so that if you have any doubt, you can ask me. Otherwise, after revising the topic, then we will continue with the new topic. So let's start with the recap of this chapter. So in the last session, we talked about the meaning of correlation, wherein I have told you that correlation is a statistical tool which is used to measure the relationship between two or more variables. Correlation helps us in determining the direction and the intensity of a relationship between two variables. Like for example, two variable can be price and quantity, price and demand, or price or supply, or any other thing, or any other variable. So let's suppose we are talking about the price and the quantity demanded. So price is the one variable, and the demand is quantity demand will be the other variable. So what is the relationship between price and demand? So there is a negative relationship between the demand and price of the commodity. As price increases, demand will decrease, and price decreases, then it will lead to the increase in demand of the commodity. So there is a negative relation. By negative, we mean that there is a basically on the basis of negative, we can say that there is a negative direction to the relationship between price and demand. If we want to find out the intensity or the degree of a relationship, if we want to find out the intensity or the degree to which price and demand are interrelated with each other, then for that purpose I have to apply the formula, and then I'll have to calculate the value of the correlation. Only then I'll be able to find out whether to what extent price and demand are interrelated with each other. Okay, so what correlation does for us is that correlation helps us in determining the direction of the relationship between two variables, as well as the intensity or the degree or the value of relationship between the two variables. And therefore we say that correlation can be broadly categorized on the basis of nature. On the basis of nature, we can categorize the correlation as the negative correlation and the positive correlation. Similarly, on the basis of graph, we can classify the correlation as the linear correlation or the non-linear correlation. And then on the basis of the variables, we can categorize the correlation as the simple correlation or the complex or multiple correlation. Okay. Apart from this, we have discussed about various methods by which this correlation can be calculated. While discussing the method, I have told you that there are primarily three methods by which correlation is determined. One of which is the Spearman's rank correlation method. Then we have Karl Pearson coefficient correlation. And after that, we have the scatter diagram method. So these are the three methods by which it can be determined. Now, as I told you, Spearman rank correlation might not be coming in your examination. So we will be skipping it for now. You just have to confirm with your teacher whether it is coming for examination or not. So in today's session, we will be talking about Karl Pearson coefficient of correlation. Okay. So Karl Pearson coefficient of correlation is one of the methods by which correlation can be determined. But in order to determine correlation on the basis of Karl Pearson's method, we have three formula to calculate correlation between two variables on the basis of Karl Pearson. Is this clear now? That on the basis of, if we want to determine correlation between two variables on the basis of Karl Pearson's method, then we have how many methods? We have three methods. What are those methods, sir? We have one is called the actual mean method. You can also call it direct method. After that, we have the shortcut method. And then we have the step deviation method. So these are the various methods by which correlation can be calculated by Karl Pearson's method. Each of these methods contains different formula. Actual mean method have a different formula, then shortcut method have different formula, and step deviation method have also a different formula. Okay, so let's start with the Karl Pearson's coefficient of correlation. You will have to first write down the formula, then we will start with the question. So before starting with the question, let's first write down the formula of the Karl Pearson's coefficient correlation. So here we go. This is the formula, Alexander and Steve. So please note it down. I'm giving you time. Let's take 5 to 10 minutes. Note it down. Let me know when you are done, and also let me know when you want me to scroll down.
Okay.
Formula might seem complicated or tricky, but once we will be doing question based on these formula, you won't find the questions very difficult. Questions are easy. It's just the formula that seems complicated or complex. Achha, Alexander, just tell me whether you have done this chapter in accounts, basis of accounting, whether you did this chapter or not. Basis of accounting, wherein we discuss the different type of account maintaining. Accounts can be maintained either on the basis of cash basis or on accrual basis. So you have completed the chapter in Learnivio or not?
No, sir.
No. Okay. All right. So probably after finishing this chapter, the ongoing chapter, we will start with the basis of accounting.
Okay.
And then also we will do the rectification of error, probably because I haven't taught you this chapter in detail. We have just discussed as your exams were approaching. So we will be discussing that chapter too.
Okay.
So probably at the maybe till the end of this month, we will be able to complete our syllabus, most probably.
Yes, sir. In school, they are teaching us computerized account.
Computerized account. So it is a theoretical chapter, no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So could you scroll down, please?
Yeah, just a minute. So as I was out of space here, so I have written the step deviation formula over here. So I'll have to scroll it down so that you can see it. So just let me know when you finish writing all this.
Okay.
Done?
So done.
Okay. All right. So let's understand these formula. Right now, you won't be able to understand a lot. You will be able to understand only when we start doing question based on these formula. But let's just try to uh, understand whatever it is written here. So first of all, the first formula is actual mean method. So here R stands for correlation. R equals to sigma xy upon under root sigma x square sigma y square. This is the formula for the correlation by actual mean method. So here you are seeing that here it is written sigma X and Y. So first of all, let's just try to understand what do you mean by X and Y. So see, X usually means item or the variable that is given in the question. But here X does not mean the item or the variable. This does not mean item or the variable. X in the formula means deviation of X. X in the formula means deviation of X from their mean. Deviation of X from mean means that you will, in order to find out this value, in order to find out X, you will have to subtract the items. This is items. You will have to subtract mean from the items. And similarly, Y in the formula does not mean variable Y, that is item Y, but Y means deviation of Y. And how do we calculate deviation of Y? We calculate deviation of Y simply by subtracting mean of Y series from the items of the Y series. So Y minus mean of Y equals to Y, that means deviation. Anyways, you will be able to understand the formula, how it works, only when we start doing question. So let's start with the questions, and then we will come back to the shortcut method and the subdivision method. Let's first do question based on the actual mean method only. So just a minute. Okay. Okay, Alexander, have you also noted this down? Sigma dx dash equals to step deviation of X.
No, sir.
Yeah, okay. So please note this as well. Then we will move to the question.
Okay. Okay, done.
All right. So we are starting with the first question, and this is to be done on the basis of actual mean method. So here you can see it is written that you need to find out correlation from the following information using the Carl Pearson's coefficient of correlation. So by basically we need to apply the Carl Pearson coefficient correlation actual mean method, and by applying actual mean method we have to find out the correlation. So we have two variables given in the question, variable X and Y. So variables are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 and 12. Similarly, Y variables are 3, 6, 9, 12 and 15, 21. So using this information we need to find out the correlation. So first of all what do we do? We will first of all write the question in the vertical format as usual. We will write it down in the vertical format. So let me just erase everything, then I'll explain you. Just a minute. Okay, so this is the information that is given in the question, X variable, Y variable, and using this information we need to find out the correlation, and that too by actual mean method. So first of all we will write down the question in the vertical format, and after writing the question in the vertical format, what do? We will now write down the formula. So this is the formula. This is the formula to find out the correlation by actual mean method, right? Sigma xy upon under root sigma x square sigma y square. All right. So first of all, you can see the first requirement of the question is the x and y are in multiply. Both are multiplied, and then their sum have been found. So you need to find, first of all we need to find out the x, then we will have to find out y. Sir, why do we need to find out x and y since it is already given in the question? See, x and y is already given in the question, na? Right? So is this x and this x is same, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
No, this is not same. Here in the formula, x does not mean the item x and y does not mean the item y. X means deviation of x and y means deviation of y. In the formula, x means deviation of x, y means deviation of y. So how do we find out x and y? So what do we do in order to find out deviation of x and y? We will first of all find out the mean of the series, of the x series, then we will subtract the value of the mean from each of the item. So by subtracting mean from each of the item, we will be able to find out x, that is deviation of x. And by subtracting mean of y series from the each of the item of y, we will be able to find out the value of deviation of y series. You understood whatever I'm telling you?
Yes, sir.
So first of all, the first thing that we will be doing in this question is to determine the deviation of x and deviation of y. Because why are we required to do why are we required to find out the deviation of x and y first? Because this is the requirement of the formula. Formula requires us to calculate the x, then y, then you need to multiply x and y, then you will have to total x and y. So we are following these steps as per the formula. Okay, so first of all, make a column and determine the value of deviation of x and y. So for that, we will be writing it as x equals to, just a minute. So x equals to item minus mean. Done. Then once we are able to find out deviation of x, then we will find out deviation of y. So for finding out deviation of y, what we will do, we will subtract the value of mean. So subtract mean of y series from the items in the y series, and then we will multiply x and y, right? We will, so why are we multiplying it? Because question requires the summation of x and y. So you will be able to find out the summation of x and y only when you multiply the deviation of x and deviation of y. Okay, all right. So this is how you will be able to find out the nominator part of the formula. Now look at the denominator section of the formula. In the denominator section of the formula, you require sigma x square. That means you need to square the deviation of x, right? You will have to square the deviation of x and do the total of it. Then you need to find out the deviation of y and find out the square and then total it. So this is why the next step will be, we will be squaring the deviation. So this, with the whatever the value you are getting here, you will make a square of it, square deviation of x square, then we will find out deviation of y square, deviation of y square. Okay, sir. After finding out the deviation of x square and deviation of y square, you will be totaling it, sigma x square, sigma y square. Right, Alexander, is this clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now you can see, after following all these steps, you will be able to find out the numerator section of the formula and the denominator section of the formula as well. You will have to simply put the values into the formula and find out the value by calculating it. Is this clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let's start with these steps. So first of all, the first step is we need to find out the deviation of x, but for that it requires us to subtract the mean of x from all the item of x. But the thing is that we are not provided with the value of mean in the question. So we will have to figure out mean of X series. We will have to find out mean of X series, because unless and until we have the value of the means, we won't be able to find out the deviation of X. So for that purpose, we will be finding out the deviation, sorry, mean of the X series. So do you have any idea what is the formula for calculating mean of the series, mean of individual series, since X series is an individual series? So do you have any idea what is the formula for finding out the mean of individual series?
No, sir, I don't remember.
Okay, so see, let me tell you, the formula is pretty simple. Formula is mean of X series equals to sigma X upon n. That means you just need to total all the items and divide it by the number of items. Getting it? So 2 plus
Yes.
4 plus 6 plus 8 plus 10 plus 12. This means you will get sigma X. By adding all this items, you will get sigma X. And n means number of items. How many items are there? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items are there. So you will total the value of X. You will divide it by number of items. That means 6. And by doing this, you will be able to find out the value of the mean. This is it. Is this clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Similarly, we need to, in order to find out the deviation of Y, you will have to also find out the mean of the Y series. So as to subtract it from the items of the Y. So for that, how are we going to calculate mean of the Y series? So it is very simple. We will simply, in order to determine the mean of the Y series, we will simply total the items of the Y series, that is sigma Y, and we will divide it by the number of items in the Y series. So sigma, how do we calculate sigma Y? We will simply add 3 plus 6 plus 9 plus 12 plus 15 plus 21. After totaling it, we will divide it by the number of items are there. So there are 6 items, so we will divide it by 6. Okay, this is how we will be able to find out the mean of X and mean of Y. Tell me, is this clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I have made a working note here for calculation of the mean of the X and the mean of Y. So see, this is how we will calculate the mean of X series. So sigma X upon n. So sum total of all the items given in the question, sum total of all the X will be 42, and number of X are 6 there. Then we will simply divide 42 by 6. We will get 7. Okay, so this will be the value of the mean in the question. Is this clear to you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, then we need to find out the mean of the Y series. So in order to find out the mean of Y series, we will simply total the value of the Y variables in the question. Then after doing the summation of Y, then we will divide it by the number of items in the Y series. So we will get 66 by 6. So mean in this case will be 11. Right? Now, since we have got the value of the mean of X series and Y series, now we will be able to find out the deviation of X and deviation of Y. So let's come back to the table, and now let's find out the mean of the deviation of the X. So X equals to X minus mean, that means 2 minus 7. 7 was the mean, right? And 2 is the item. So 2 minus 7 will be minus 5. Then again, we will subtract 7 from 4. So 4 minus 7, it will be minus 3. Then 6 minus 9. 6 minus 9 will be minus 3. Then 8 minus 12, it will be minus 4. Sorry, not 8 minus 12, 8 minus 7. No? Sorry. 6 minus 7 minus 1. Then 8 minus 7 equals to 1. 10 minus 7 equals to 3. And 12 minus 7 equals to 5. Tell me, Alexander, is this clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we will similarly find out the value of the Y deviation. So in order to find out the y deviation, we will subtract the mean of the y series, that was 11, and 3 minus 11 will be minus 8, right? And similarly 6 minus 11, it will be 5. Then 9 minus 11 minus 2, and 12 minus 11 equals to 1. 15 minus 11 equals to 4, and 21 minus 11 equals to 10. Is this clear, Alexander and Steve?
Yes, sir.
Now what we need to do, we will simply multiply the x and y. So 8 into 5 will be 40, minus 8 into minus 5 will be 40 plus 40. Then 5 into 3, this will be minus 5. Na? So minus 5 into minus 3, 15. Then minus 2 into minus 1, 2. Then 1 into 1, 1, 4 into 3, 12, and 10 into 5, 50. Now we will total all the variables, some total of product of x and y. Sum total of product of x and y will be, I think it will be 120. 55 plus 57, 58, 70. Yes, it will be 120. And similarly, we will now square the deviation of x. So deviation of x was 5. So square of 5 will be 25. Then square of 3 will be 9. Square of 1 will be 1. 1 square 1. 3 square 9. And square of 5 will be 25. So now we will total the square of the deviation of x as well. So 25 plus 25, it will be 50. Then 60 and 70, this will be 70. And now we will square the deviation of y series. Then 8 square 64, 5 square 25, 2 square 4, 1 square 1, 4 square 16, 10 square will be 100. Okay. Now we will total all these values. So we will get 210. Tell me, Alexander and Steve, is this clear to both of you or not?
Clear, sir.
Okay, very good. Now we will simply put these value into the formula, and by putting this value into the formula, you will be writing it like this. In place of sigma xy, we will write 120, right? And then upon, in the denominator section, we will have an under root sigma x square, that means 70 x square. The summation of x square is 70, right? And summation of y square is 210. And when you will calculate this, you will get, after solving this, you will get 0.9897. Tell me, Alexander, is this clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you want to write it down? Have you already noted it down?
Sir, I have to write the working note.
You have to note the working
Yeah.
note. Okay. Note it down.
No, sir. Scroll up that actual mean method.
Okay. So you need to draw this table, na?
No. Actual mean method.
The question.
No. The formula and then the answer, right?
Okay. You want to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Calculation part. Okay. All right.
Yes, sir. Okay, done, sir.
Done. All right. So you understood this, na? You have any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, so I'm giving you one question. Just try this now. Then we will move to the next method. So find correlation using direct method of Carl Pearson coefficient of correlation. Direct method means actual mean method. So we have these values 10, 12, 8, 15, 20, 25, 50. Then y is 15, 10, 6, 25, 16, 12, and 7.
Okay.
Done, Alexander?
Yes, sir. I have to calculate.
Okay. Just do it and let me know the answer.
Okay.
So what is the summation of product of X and Y you are getting, Alexander?
Sir,
Summation XY.
5.
5.
But yes,
Okay.
might be wrong.
No, I think mine is
Sir,
incorrect. Yeah.
I wrote -18 instead of -180.
Okay. So I think this is incorrect, na?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Make the correction and then calculate. I think it is -157 I'm getting.
Yes, sir.
-157. Okay. And then square of x. Oh, so 100 plus 64 plus 154, 144 plus 25 plus 0 plus 25 plus 900 will be 1258. 1258. And then we have 4 plus 9 plus 14 plus 144 plus 9 plus 1 plus 36. 217. Now we will put these value into the formula. So it will be -157 divided by under root 1258 multiply with 217. Multiply by 270, 272986, and then under root it will be 52 522.48. So -157 divided by 522.48, it will be -0.30. So this should be your answer, I think. Please
Okay,
cross
sir.
check your answer.
Sir, done.
Done now?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so do you have any doubt regarding actual mean method?
No, sir.
Okay, no, so let's so shall we do one question based on the step shortcut method as well?
Okay, sir.
Okay, so let's start with the shortcut method and just let me find the question. Just a minute, give me a moment. All right, so I got the question. Find correlation using shortcut method. Done, Alexander? Have you noted it down?
No, sir. Sir, what is the fifth unit of y?
Sorry?
Fifth unit of y, is it 33?
It's 35, sorry. 35. 25, 20, 30, 32, 35, 40, 19, 16, 12, and 10. Okay. Done,
Sir,
na?
I'm right. No.
No.
Okay, sir, done.
Okay. So as usual, before proceeding with the steps to calculate it, we will first of all write it down in the vertical format. X and y variable. So variable of X were 10, 14, 12, 11, and 9, 7, 15, 9, 7, 15, 16, 18, and 20. 16, 18, and 20. Right. After that, we have values of y. So 25, 20, 30, 25, 20, 30, and 32, 35, 40, 19, then 16, 12, and 10. 16, 12, and 10. Okay, so we need to solve this question by shortcut method now. So before writing down the various steps, we will first of all write down the formula. So why do we write down the formula first and then apply the various steps? So formula actually guides us in applying the various steps. So therefore before writing down any steps, we write down the formula. So the formula for shortcut method is sigma dx dy minus sigma dx multiply it with sigma dy divided by the number of items, and the entire value will again be divided by the under root sigma dx square minus sigma dx whole square upon n, and multiply it with sigma dy square minus sigma dy ka whole square upon n. So this is the formula that we need to apply in this question. So before going further, let's first understand what is actually, see, in the formula, the first thing that we need to find out is dx, right? And then we will find out the dy. Then we will multiply dx with dy, right? And after multiplying it, we will total the product of dx and dy. Is this clear now, Alexander? What do we
Yes,
do
sir.
first? First of all, we need to find out dx. Then we will be finding out dy, and then we will multiply both these values. And after finding out their product, we will be totaling the summation, totaling the dx and dy, so as to find out the sigma dx dy. So the problem is this, that we don't know the meaning of dx. What is actually dx? So we have to, before finding out the dx and dy, we must be clear about what is actually dx and dy. So for that purpose, let me tell you, dx basically means, this time dx means deviation. Like in the previous formula, x was the deviation, but in the shortcut formula, dx stands for deviation of x. Got it? Is this clear to you?
Yes, sir.
And now the problem is, sir, earlier in the previous formula, we used to find out deviation of x by subtracting the mean of x from the items of the x series. Items of the x series. But how do we find out the deviation of x this time? So in order to find out deviation, it will be easier for us this time to find out the deviation, because we are not required to find out mean this time. What do we do with this? We will simply subtract the assumed mean from the items of the series. So x minus a, we are not required to find out the mean this time. Earlier we used to find out deviation by subtracting mean of the x from the value of the x. This is how we used to do it, isn't it? Right now,
Yes, sir.
this is what
Yeah.
we used to do. But this time, in order to find out deviation of x, what do? We will simply subtract the assumed mean from the value of the item. That means we are not required to find out the mean this time. We will simply assume the value of the mean. We will from the variables of the x, we will simply take any value as the mean value, and then considering that as a mean, we will find out the deviation. So you will be able to understand it in a more better manner when I'll show you how to do it in the question. So let's understand this on the table. Just a minute. Okay. So first of all, we need to find out dx. So dx will be determined. Dx will be calculated by subtracting the value of a. A means assumed mean. So what do you mean by assumed mean? Assumed means mean, and you can take any value as the mean value from the variables of x. So this is the variable x. So you will take any value as the mean value. Let's suppose you are considering, for example, let's suppose you are considering 15 as the mean of the series. So this will be considered as a. You can take any value as the mean of the series. You can either take 10. You can either take, you can take the initial value or the extreme value or any middle value, or any value that you would like to take as a mean. There is no restriction. You can take any value as a mean. So this time I have considered 15 as a assumed mean. Is this clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, once you have assumed the value of the mean, you will be able to find out the deviation. So 10 minus, earlier we used to subtract mean, but this time we will subtract assumed mean. So 10 minus 15. A we have taken as 15. So 10 minus 15 will be minus 5. Then 14 minus 15 will be minus 1. 12 minus 15 will be minus 3. 11 minus 15 will be minus 4. 9 minus 15 minus 6, and 7 minus 16, 15 will be minus 8, and 15 minus 15 will be 0. And similarly, 16 minus 15 will be 1, 18 minus 15 will be 3, and 20 minus 15 will be 5. Right, Alexander? Is this clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The way we have found out the deviation of x, similarly we will also find out the deviation of y. So for deviation of y also, what are we going to do? We will simply subtract assumed mean from the variables of the y series. So this time we will take the mean from the y series. So let's suppose I'm considering 19 as the mean of the series. I can take any value as the mean, but for the sake of simplicity, I'm considering the mid value of the series. So I'm taking 19 as the assumed mean. I can also take 25, 20, or 30, 32. Any value can be taken as a mean. So now for finding out the deviation of y, we will simply subtract the assumed mean from the value of the y. 25 minus 19, it will be how much? So 25 minus 19, it will be 6. Positive 6. Then 20 minus 19, it will be 1. 30 minus 19 will be 11. 32 minus 19 will be 13. 35 minus 19 will be 16, right? And 40 minus 19 will be how much it will be? 21. Then 19 minus 19 will obviously be 0. And 16 minus 19 will be minus 3. -7 and -9. Sorry, 19 minus 10. Okay, -9. Tell me, Alexander, is this clear to you as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let's come back to the formula. So we found out the value of dx, we found out value of dy as well, right? Now the formula is asking you to multiply both the values dx and dy and find out their total, right? You are able to interpret this formula part? You are able
Yes,
to
sir.
interpret it or not? Sigma dx dy means we have to multiply dx and dy, and then we need to find out their summation. We need to find out their total, right? Now,
Yes, sir.
okay, so let's do it. So we will multiply dx and dy. So dx and dy will be multiplied. 6 into 5 minus 30, 1 into 1 minus 1, 11 into 3 minus 33, 13 into 4, 52 minus, and 96 minus, then 8 ones are 8, 8 2s are 16, 168 minus, then 0. After that, minus 3 and minus 21 minus 45. So by adding all these values, we will get sigma dx dy, right? Alexander, is this clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, after that, let's come back to the formula again. So we already found out this section, sigma dx dy. Now we will proceed to the next part. So here you need sigma dx. That means you will have to total dx and multiply it with the total of the dy. So I think we have already found the value of dx. Huh? So this is dx. This is dx. So what are we going to do? We will simply total the value of the dx. Just a minute. Yeah. So by totaling the value of the dx, you will be able to get the sigma dx. And by totaling the value of the dy, you will be able to get sigma dy. Now, after getting these values, you will simply put it into formula, right? So you will get this section of the formula as well. Is this clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Now let's come to the denominator section. So in the denominator section, we have the sigma dx squared. So do you have any idea what do we do? What are we required to do in order to find out the dx square? How do we find out dx square? And whatever the dx square we will get, we will have to total all the dx square to find out the sigma dx square. So do you have any idea how are we going to find out dx square?
So we just square them, we multiply them by themselves.
Correct. We will simply multiply. Basically, we will find out the square of the dx. So dx square, 5 square 25, 1 square 1, 3 square 9, and so on, right? And similarly, in the next segment, here we need sigma dx. So we already found out sigma dx, na? So we will simply put the value. We have here sigma dx. Whatever the value we will get here, we will simply put it into the formula and square it, then divide it by the number of items. Okay. Moving on to the next section of the formula, dy square. So in order to find out dy square, what do? We will simply multiply, we will square the deviation of y. So this will be squared. So 6 6 are 36, 1 1s are 1, 11 ka squared 121, 13 ka square is 169, and so on. All right. And I think this is it. And in this part, we already got the value of the sigma dy, right? We will simply square it and divide it by the number of items. Right, Alexander? Will you be able to solve the remaining part of the question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So shall I give you it? Shall I give you this as your homework? You will be able to solve it in the homework.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So consider it your homework, and let me tell you the answer of this question. I think you will get minus 0.958. This will probably the answer of this question. So kindly note it down somewhere so that when you will solve it, you can cross check your solution with the answer. So minus 0.9 something 958. This probably will be your answer. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. All right. So this is it for now. Apart from this, I'm also giving you one more question, and try this question using both the method, the shortcut and the actual mean method as well. So kindly note it down. I'm just a minute. Let me open the question. Okay, I'm dictating the question for you. Please note it down.
Okay.
Shall I start?
Yes, sir.
Okay, please write down from the following data. Calculate coefficient correlation. From the following data, calculate coefficient correlation
Yes.
between variable x and y
Yes.
using Carl Pearson's method dash
Yeah.
actual mean method and the shortcut method. You need to do this question by both the formula, actual one and the shortcut one.
Okay.
Variables in the questions are x variables are 10, 6, 9, 10, 10, 6, 9, 10,
Yes.
12, 13, 11, 9. 12, 13, 11, 9. These are the x variables, and y variables are 9, 4, 6, 9, 11, 13, 8, 4. I'm repeating the variable section one more time so that if there is any mistake, you can correct it. Variable x are 10, 6, 9, 10, 12, 13, 11, 9. Variable y are 9, 4, 6, 9, 11, 13, 8, and 4. Okay, so probably the answer that you will get in this question will be just a minute. Yeah, so the answer will be positive 0.895. R equals to 0.895. This will probably the answer of this question. Okay, Alexander.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so for this is it in the economic section, in the statistics part. So we are now taking a break of 5-10 minutes, and we will start with the account section. And okay, so this is it for now.
Okay, sir.